certain when it comes to a robbery, they're supposed to turn the sirens off so that they don't panic the people who are armed inside the bank? Hey guys, it's your girl Laisha, aka Geek XX Chic, and we're back with another reaction to Daredevil Born Again. We're now at episode 5, which is called With Interest. So the last episode, we had the reemergence of Frank, aka the Punisher. We see that Matt went to go see him because whoever took out his client had the Punisher logo printed onto the bullet. Of course, Frank knows nothing about it, but really, Matt just needed someone to talk to about the fact that he really wants to put the suit back on, and he just doesn't want to admit it to himself. But anyways, there was a bit of a guerrilla therapy session before Matt left. And then speaking of therapy, we see that with Fisk and his wife that there is still this lingering issue with her infidelity, as well as the fact that she wants to have a different type of role in their relationship as opposed to what they started out with. So they're still trying to work through that as well. So, and then we ended the episode with somebody wearing the creepiest mask I've ever seen, who seems to be snatching people and draining them of blood. So the plot continues to thicken in the wonderful world of Hell's Kitchen. So time to jump back in, but just before I do, a reminder that if you'd like to be in the know when I drop episodes, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. All right, that out of the way, let's get into the episode right now. I'm assuming it's St. Patty's Day, because I was about to say, what does Dublin have to do with it? But I forgot there's an Irish gang here. Oh, wow, that was an abrupt end to the festivities. Not Irish, Matt? At least not today.
Not wearing green today, Mr. Murdoch.
He's not Irish.
Green? Yeah, green today.
You know he's blind, right?
I tend to prefer more neutral.
I guess he could label them.
A leprechaun might pinch.
About my loan?
My daughter, Kamala, she's in California visiting some friends there in La La Land, as they say.
Wait, is that Kamala Khan as in Kamala Khan's dad? I don't remember much of Miss Marvel.
And her very own superhero, Miss Marvel.
It is her dad.
I'm not sure I'm familiar.
Oh, you will be.
Right here. A custom designed Funko in her honor.
Recognize that Matt's...
Oh yeah, well, you can't see.
Thanks.
Well, it's her.
Okay. Maybe you can feel it?
Your firm's over-leveraged, yet you're more than willing to take on clients who have a difficult time paying.
Yeah.
As in the tragic case of White Tiger.
How does that math go?
We represent husbands, sons, daughters. People like you and me, Mr. Khan. But we serve a vital function in a city that desperately needs us.
But back to the math. How are you going to pay for this? How are you going to repay this loan?
Very qualities that make you an excellent defense attorney, Mr. Murdoch, but unfortunately,
Thank you.
for the same reasons that you do not meet New York Mutual's criteria.
Respectfully, Matthew. Interesting. No, Matt, can't you, like, rob somebody?
20 minutes of courage, lads.
Didn't I tell you the Irish are going to pop up in this episode? You better not tick off his daughter either. She better send your ass into another dimension. AT&T, what's the shade towards AT&T? So random. Oh God, he's doing his job. He probably would have cooperated. Oh, no, he's probably not smart. He didn't kill you. That's a woman. What is wrong with y'all? Down, get down. All the way down. Y'all don't have a panic button? Phone's dead. It's a bank.
Yeah.
Since when do banks not have panic buttons?
Alright, so I'm on my way now. I'll probably...
I was about to say, since when does he not hear that? Oh, but you don't have the suit.
Person, call 911.
Thank you. That least you can do. Bro, it's dead. You know what that tone means. Get down.
Is are you all right?
No, he got hit in the face. Matthew, what are you planning to do that's not going to get you caught?
This can go a couple of ways.
Oh,
You stay
options?
where you are, you keep your heads down, keep your trap shut, you stay out of our way, and we'll stay out of yours.
I like this option.
Everybody goes home,
Okay.
and everybody has a wild story.
Deal.
We have a solicitor on our hands.
Excuse me, they're called lawyers across the pond. Wow, assaulting people with disabilities, that's crazy. Oh, why? It's a... I'm fairly certain when it comes to a robbery, they're supposed to turn the sirens off so that they don't panic the people who are armed inside the bank.
Where's the non-assistant bank manager?
Not here.
Actually, he's had a bit of an emergency this morning. He won't be in for a couple of hours.
Maybe you should have done that research before you decided to rob the bank.
Looks like we're going to be spending a little more time together than we thought. This isn't a fucking party.
Excuse me, you said option 1 was everybody gets out easy. What happened to that?
You can't open it, can you?
Nope.
The vault.
I feel like that's a manager's job.
I'm the acting deputy hostage negotiator, 5th Precinct. You got a status report for me?
People inside, guns.
This is Detective Kim. Whom do I have the pleasure of speaking with?
The attitude.
And you do sound calm, don't you? Calm.
It's her job.
My job is to rob the bank.
Oh, okay. We like this, establishing roles.
Is to prevent every hostage inside the bank from getting a fucking bullet to the fucking head.
This is true.
You have until 9:45.
AM? PM? Which day?
I need something from you.
Proof of
Give me
life.
2 hostages as a sign of good
Okay,
faith.
that's good. That's a good trade to start with. Eeny, meeny.
You. Up.
Without her husband.
Congratulations! You've both been emancipated.
Maddie doesn't want to be emancipated. He needs to stay inside.
I said let him take my place.
Matt, you're too calm. Act nervous.
But thank you for the
Just because I'm
suggestion.
blind doesn't mean I need your pity.
Yeah,
Do I
wrong guy.
strike you as some sanctimonious twat trying to do right by the visually impaired? Do I?
Oh, he actually knows the right terminology. Surprised.
I don't like the clever little ways you twist the truth.
Why are you so close to me, bro?
What I'm saying to you is, give it to the woman's husband.
Is that what you're saying to me?
Right? Like, why are you making demands, Maddie?
Not just a blind solicitor with a moral complex, but an Irishman.
I
Where's your
mean,
family?
how many generations back, bro?
Before the big swim, Mr. Smartass.
I don't know. I
Right?
was raised in an orphanage.
Jesus wept.
Right? He's like, damn, these damn origin stories.
Are you bloody serious? You're like a regular wee Charles Dickens character, aren't you?
Or a Marvel hero.
Fuck it, take the husband.
Well done, Maddie.
Careful what you wish for, Mr. Murdoch.
Oh, he should be saying the same to you, actually. Ooh, when his daughter finds out you manhandled him, do an intergalactic space punch to the dick.
And I got a 1994 Mark Messier signed puck.
Messier? Gretzky would have been worth more.
Anyone else for the loo?
We'll just go right here. Oh, don't turn Matt on now. Yeah, it's foreplay for Matt. Don't do that.
Just making sure we understand each other.
The way y'all are not reading his body language, the fact that he's not even a little nervous or scared. Most people a little freaked out when you put the barrel of a gun to their head.
Built in 1931.
That's right. Give him a history lesson, uneducated cur. Well done, Maddie. Quiet. Tighter. Oh, crap. Ooh, Maddie, so close to the Veiling Jewels.
Could I please request if you could get me a snack?
I'm diabetic.
Just a granola bar, maybe.
You want to see that family of yours?
A snack, bro? That's what you came up with? You should have said you're diabetic. Matthew. While choking him out. That is the hottest I've seen today. That's nice.
I needed the bank manager to be sufficiently motivated to open the vault. He is now. We're almost in.
Why are you talking to me then?
What part of Ireland are you from exactly? Where'd this mock accent come from? Wonder how fun that was for Mr. Cox, being a Brit and all.
This vault has a 4-turn tumbler system.
Shh!
It means it has
Matt's working! Damn, is that easy to open a vault? Banks ain't nothing, man. Where's the lasers and stuff?
Fess, I'm disappointed, detective.
Yeah, well, I'm
Recognize the
disappointed in your
action.
choice of life decisions.
3 minutes to think of a joke. If you can make me laugh, I'll give you 3 more.
Okay, Irish jokes, quickly!
You're telling me none of you know a good joke?
Not for the Irish.
Finds a 4-leaf clover on the hills of Donegal.
An Irish joke.
I mean, it seems like it's apropos on such a day.
Father, do you by any chance have a
What? Why is there an
leprechaun
accent?
nun named-
Bravo, detective. 10 out of 10 on the accent.
I'm not saying anything. I like to put on a little Irish accent my own self. It's terrible, but it's fun.
You have exactly 10 minutes before I shoot the first hostage.
Damn. But it was entertaining. That's not fair.
No need to apologize, Mr. Khan.
Oh my god. Together. Get it.
Wow,
Oh, it's an actual rock.
that's one impressive diamond. It's pretty high in stone for a bunch of rough Irish robbers.
So, you think they can't get fancy?
Hands up, both of you! No!
No.
Ooh!
You and I both know you didn't come here to kill anybody.
You sure?
Came here looking for this.
Ooh. I swear to God, I'll swallow it right now.
You have no leverage, son.
You have no time.
I am going to give you 3 seconds before I put
You don't
a
even
bullet-
have it. Did Matt actually throw that diamond? Oh, Patty. Oh, Matt, that was petty. That's making sure not one of you little bitches get away.
Got this, DeLuca.
Inside job, that makes sense. Wow, let your buddies take the fall while you got away. See why it's not worth it to do crime, guys? Oh, Matthew. Oh, okay. Sir, oh God, he's angry. He really don't like you. AKA, you put a gun in his face, and now, like I said, he took the mask! Ah! You think he doesn't recognize the cane, Matt? Oh my God, he's a better fighter than I thought. Matt has been dying for this, though. He's a little rusty, though. It's been a minute since he's had to kick someone's ass. Ooh! In suit pants? You're not in the right gear, bro. That wasn't he. Oh! Oh my God. I knew Maddie wouldn't actually give you the real diamond, dummy.
This is about us reconsidering your loan, Mr. Murdoch.
I didn't come here about them.
Thank God.
We can brainstorm on ways to make your firm more profitable. Over
Yeah.
dinner?
That could be good. You should go to the family.
As long as it involves a trip to Jersey City, Mr.
Yeah. And Indian food, hell yeah.
And my daughter.
Ah, the famous Kamala.
Come on.
I love that he's so proud
Okay,
of her.
great. I will see you at dinner then, Mr. Murdoch.
Indeed. Where's the diamond, Matthew? You don't need a loan now because you're going to cash in that diamond for your law firm? The crime! Oh, did he put it in there? Too honest, Matthew. I would have cashed that shit in. Sorry. Law firms are expensive. I'm kidding. He did the right thing. Honesty or whatever. I guess. Morals. Hero. All right, guys. Well, that was an interesting episode. I think what I like the most about it is that we got to see Matthew work without, well, I mean, for the most part, until the end, work without the costume, right? This kind of, again, falls in line with what Matt's been going through lately of trying to decide what kind of hero, or what kind of person, I should say, that he wants to be, right? Like, since what happened with Foggy, he's been debating about whether or not he should really stay away from the suit, right? He stayed away for a year now, and it's like a bad itch, right? He hasn't been able to scratch it, and it's been, you know, getting to him slowly, particularly with all the things that have not been going right lately. And, you know, he still isn't quite ready to put it back on. However, he knows that he wants to do something. He knows that he can't just stand by and keep being passive when he knows bad things are happening. And I said this a few episodes ago that we see that, you know, Matt still hears everything, right? He hears the screams, he hears when the crime is happening, and he's had to actively ignore when these things have happened, which is something he never has done in the past. He's always tried to help people. And so all of that kind of piling up, and then this situation here where, very interestingly, he's asking to expand the firm, like to get a loan, which is very interesting because, I mean, I guess it shows that things are going actually quite well as far as the firm's reputation, despite everything. But I just think it's interesting that Matt would want to go bigger. I'm thinking that's actually probably more Kirsten than it is Matt. But anyway, but we see that, yeah, he's there, and I didn't even realize that that was the same actor that plays Kamala's dad. Like I said, it's been a minute since I watched Miss Marvel, but I love the tie-in, right? It's about time all of these New Yorkers actually meet one another once in a while, because I mean, they all are supposed to be part of the same universe in the same city. So anyways, I really like that we got to have that little Easter egg of Miss Marvel, and I don't know whether or not we're gonna see a crossover this season. I don't see it making sense outside of course, maybe if he does in fact end up going to the cons for dinner, which I think would be actually a hilarious scene. But outside of that, we don't really, there's no place for Miss Marvel in this, is my point. Like her show and the feel and vibe of her show is not at all what we're seeing here. But digressing, while he was at the bank, we see that a robbery goes down, and I'm pretty sure it's the same Irish gang as one of the Irish gangs that's part of all the gangs that are in the Red Hook area, etc. But I could be wrong about that. But anyway, they come, they're supposed to be a pretty quick in and out. We heard, oh wait, it's about the 1.8 million, right? Get that number. We heard that number being offered. Well, we saw that Vanessa tried to offer that number to compensate for something between them and the Russians, I believe. But then Fisk came in, and then that kind of got squashed, and yeah, it hasn't been resolved. So it looks like the Irish are trying to take it into their own hands, and they knew exactly where to find this diamond. I'm thinking that whoever they stole that from, it's not theirs. So anyways, Matthew hears this going down, and thank goodness he did, actually, just because maybe, actually no, I don't think they would have hurt anybody. From the looks of things, the Irish people really didn't want to hurt anybody. But anyway, he hears it, and as I said, he just can't handle the inaction anymore. He makes himself go back, and he gets the police called, thankfully, and he stays there. And honestly, without the suit, without any form of cover, he definitely had to go about this very differently than he would have if he had had the suit, which again, he wouldn't have had time to put on anyways. But I really like seeing that Matt had to kind of think a little bit outside of the box, out of his usual toolbox, because we know that he's always had a handful of tips or a handful of tricks that he does when he's, you know, in his Matt Murdock form and out and needing to do things. But this was a lot more than that. Like, he really had to sit there and in a very short amount of time come up with a plan of how to either slow them down until the police got there or somehow thwart them without giving away the fact that he's capable of doing things that a blind man's not supposed to be able to do, and move in a way that if anyone's really keen would notice is very similar to a certain horned devil that used to run around in a costume. So that, you have to give Matt props, the fact that he came up with something that he knew to stall. And obviously that hearing was absolutely clutch here, because he was able to hear the plan, know that people are being spoken to, and really get a much bigger picture of what was actually happening there that would otherwise have been impossible. But as I said in the episode, I think it's crazy that these people didn't notice that Matt was entirely too chill, right? Especially Devlin, because Devlin was noting how the negotiator was putting on her air of being calm and collected, but didn't pick up on the fact that Matt, the blind guy, is literally looking in your face and smirking when you put a barrel of a gun to his head. Like, bro, that either means one of two things. One, he knows something you don't, and you should probably figure out what it is or be worried. Or two, he's crazy, right? he's someone who wants to die. So anyway, of course, for plot, they didn't notice any of that. And as I said, we got to see Matt kind of work outside of his normal lines. And I think that takedown in the hallway was great. In the staircase, I mean, that was really well done. The fact that he had to do that fight without getting loud or making too much noise, superbly done. And then, yeah, that he basically got their hands on what was necessary, and he was able again to buy just enough time to get for the cops to break in basically and cause enough chaos that they wouldn't be able to do much else other than run. So we see that there is actually a woman that was in there. The woman that was in the bank was part of the whole heist situation. Very smartly done with Devlin putting on the police officer's uniform and, you know, dropping the goods to her. Like, it would have actually worked perfectly if the diamond had actually been in there, but I knew for a fact that Matt was not going to give them the goods. Like, that would make no sense. But I thought it was funny that he went back and got Devlin after it was all said and done. Like, maybe, I guess I was going to say, why wouldn't he go after the girl? But she didn't actually have the diamond, so that's why he didn't go after her. Also, she technically didn't do anything at that point outside of, you know, potentially take the stolen goods. But him going after Devlin was 1,000% just Matt being petty. That was absolutely Matthew just being like, actually, screw you. You put a gun to my head and you kicked me in the stomach with a gun and you made blind jokes. Like, no, you're going to get a little bit of a spanking. Okay. By a little bit, I mean, he meant shattered his shin, but that's for another time. But my guess is that, I'm thinking we didn't see anything, but I wouldn't be surprised if Matt tried to ask some questions, like maybe try to find out who was actually behind it, because I don't even think the girl who took the fake diamond is even the person at the top. I think, because we heard him say, get it to whoever. So anyway, I'm wondering if Matt tried to get more information, but maybe not, because he wasn't even supposed to do all that he did. But that was very much, as I've been saying for the last few episodes, Matt has been dying. He's been itching, scratching, foaming at the mouth to actually whoop somebody's butt. And I really like that they show that, first of all, Devlin's actually a decent fighter, which I expect from somebody who runs in the kind of circles he does, but also that Matt's a bit rusty, right? He hasn't, I'm pretty sure Matt of yesteryear would have probably made quick work of that fight, but because, well, A, he wasn't prepared. He was also dressed in a suit and, an outfit that wasn't exactly conducive for fighting, but I expected that. Like, I like that it shows that he hasn't really been doing this the way he used to, so he's a little rusty, right? He's a little bit slower than he normally would be. He's not, his reactions aren't as good as they normally would be, but either way, he still managed to win, thank goodness. And I think now that he's gotten the taste, I really don't think, between this and the cops, the dirty cops, yeah, I don't think Matt's gonna be able to hold out too much longer. He's gonna have to do something soon, because this is what Matt lives for. Like, even when he went back to check on Yusuf Khan and brought back, the diamond, like, you could tell that he was like smiling. His whole posture looked so much more relaxed. Like, it's like he was wound up and needed to kind of do that to kind of get himself a little bit more regulated. So yeah, it was a good episode. I really liked seeing the different side of Matt, seeing him, as I said, use his brain more so than just his fighting skills. And I think that's important, because a lot of times with these types of Marvel characters and, even in the movies and things like that, a lot of times they forget that these characters tend to be more than one dimensional, right? Like, the movies almost always focus on if they've got a magical ability, then that's their magic, or their superpower or superpowers, and it's all kind of about the flashy stuff. But for so many of these characters, there's another side of them that's equally as important and cool, and they just never really take time to look into. Like, for example, Bruce Banner being a genius level chemist and biochemist. Peter Parker actually being a genius level scientist and tinkerer. We barely ever talk about that. And in this case, Matthew, he is a lawyer, and not just I just barely made it through law school lawyer. He's very smart. He's very book smart, very head smart. He's someone who thinks things through. And as we can see here, he's a planner. He's very good at executing things and thinking of things on the fly. And those are just as important as the fact that he can also run around and beat people up and break shin bones, like one would a twig. So I like that they're giving us a little bit more facets to Matthew, and just showing us another way for him to do what he needs to do, because yeah, he is that badass, right? And the fact that pretty much no one is going to know, except for maybe that one guy he choked out in the hallway. No one's gonna really know that he's capable of doing these things. And even then, right, at most they're just gonna think he maybe took some self-defense classes. They're never gonna think that he's that vigilante who was running around the city at night with no walking cane or any type of visual aids. So yeah, that was a good one. I enjoyed that a lot. I hope you guys enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please show some love, and I will see you in the next one.